My name is Jin Young Park, and I am honored to serve you as your host MC for today's celebration. And please note that today's program will be recited in Korean and in English, so thank you so much. 안녕하세요, 여러분들. 제11회 필라델피아 미주 한인의 날 기념식에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미주 이민 역사 120년을 뒤돌아보며 우리 커뮤니티가 더 발전하고 하나됨을 기약하며 이 자리에 함께하고 있습니다. 저는 오늘 사회를 맡은 박진용입니다. 오늘 사회는 한국어와 영어로 진행이 됨을 참고해 주시기 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다. First, we will kick off this event with a special performance by the Jason Youth Drum Group, which consists of junior high and high school students from the Philip Jason Youth Academy. 기념식을 시작으로 중고등학생으로 조직된 한국 전통 드럼 그룹인 제이슨 유스 드럼 그룹의 힘찬 모습을 공연이 있겠습니다. 다들 따뜻한 박수로 맞이해 주시기 부탁드리겠습니다. Please help me welcome with a round of applause. 다들 따뜻한 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 개인적으로 저는 오랜만에 전통극을 들었는데요. 지금 벽을 뚫고 뛰어갈 수 있을 만큼 힘을 줘서 좋네요. Nice job, guys. That's great. Alright, then up next, we have Reverend Sue Byung-lin, the President of the Council of Korean Churches of Greater Philadelphia, who will lead us in the opening prayer. The council was established in 1981 and has currently 60-member Korean churches. 다음으로 필라델피아 교회협의 회장이신 임수병 목사님의 개회 기도가 있겠습니다. 협의회는 1981년 창립되었고 60여 개 한인교회가 멤버로 있습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
같이 기도하겠습니다. 하나님, 오늘 2주 한인의 날 행사를 갖게 하심을 감사를 드립니다. 이민 121주년을 기념하면서 한인회와 또 서재필 기념재단 그리고 필라델피아 출장소가 함께 수고하여 하나님이 귀한 행사를 준비하게 되었습니다. 한인 커뮤니티의 헌신과 공로를 기념하면서 필라 시회를 통해서 이렇게 한인의 날을 선포하게 하심을 하나님 감사합니다. 필라 지역에 사는 우리들이 대한민국 국민으로서의 그 긍지를 가지고 우리 문화를 자랑스럽게 생각하며 이 땅에 전파하여서 다른 문화를 이 땅 가운데 심을 수 있는 그런 역할 감당하게 하여 주옵소서. 하나님, 전쟁의 공포 가운데 있는 이 땅을 불쌍히 여겨주시고 평화를 어서속히 허락하여 주시옵소서. 하나님, 이 시간을 통해 한인사회가 하나 되고 미국 사회 한인들이 어떻게 기여할 수 있는지 깨달을 수 있는 시간 되게 하여 주옵소서. 수고한 모든 손길마다 축복하여 주시길 원하며 예수 그리스도 이름으로 기도하옵나이다. 아멘.
감사합니다, 목사님. Now it's time. Please all rise as we salute these Korean and United States national flags. 지금부터 국기에는 공개가 있겠습니다. 모두 잘 지내주십시오. 국기의 경례. 바로. And now, please join us for a moment of silence in recognition of all those who sacrificed themselves for us to be here today. 이어서 바로 순국 선열 호국 명령에 대한 공연이 있겠습니다. 다 같이 공연. 바로. And please remain standing for the national anthems of Korea and the United States. 계속 서신 채로 양국가 제창이 있겠습니다. 감사합니다. 자리에 앉아주시기 부탁드리겠습니다. Please be seated. And now, I would like to introduce Judy Yu, the chair of the Korean American Day Planning Committee. 첫 순서로 오늘 행사를 주최한 12명이 구성된 미주 한인의 날 준비위원회 이주향 준비위원장님의 환영사가 있겠습니다. 박수 부탁드립니다.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending and joining us 2024 Korean American Day celebration. First of all, I want to have special thanks to Ken Yang and all the Passy family and members for providing this beautiful Evergreen Center for our special program. Ken is over there. Let's give. Thank you, Ken. So today is the Korean American Day, so we're going to celebrate. Especially we're going to commemorate our first Korean immigrant to U.S. Year 1903, January 13. And today we're going to have a chance to celebrate all the contribution Korean American community made to our city, town, and nationwide. And then today we're going to hope for another 121 years of prosperity and more success of Korean American community. So today we have lots of program and hopefully everybody enjoy. But somebody told me, what is Korean American Day? So our planning committee, they were suggesting we're going to have a very, very short explanation about what is Korean American Day. So me and Jin Young is going to talk about what is Korean American Day. It's going to take only 1 minute. Okay.
So we're reciting the Korean American Day history and significance. 102 Korean immigrants arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii on January 13th, 1903.
Okay, since we have to share the microphone. Okay. 1903년 1월 13일 102명의 첫 이민 선조들이 하와이 호놀룰루에 도착했습니다.
In 2003, President George W. Bush issued a proclamation to recognize the centennial of Korean immigration.
2003년 조시 부시 대통령은 우리 미주 한인 이민 100주년을 기념하며 선포문을 내었습니다.
And in 2005, the U.S. Congress recognized January 13th as National Korean American Day.
2005년 미 연방 정부에서 1월 13일을 미주 전 지역에서 미주 한인의 날로 기념할 수 있는 결의안이 통과되었습니다.
And in 2013, former Councilman David O introduced a City Council resolution recognizing Korean American Day on January 13th and started to host the annual Korean flag raising ceremony at the Philadelphia City Hall in 2014.
2013년 데이비드 오 전 필라델피아 시의원은 1월 13일을 미주 한인의 날로 기념할 수 있는 결의안을 필라델피아 시의회에 신청하기로 상정하기 시작하였고 2014년부터는 매해 필라델피아 시청에서 태극기 개양식이 거행되는 열매를 맺게 되었습니다.
On December 7, 2023, Councilman Jim Harity introduced the City Council resolution proclaiming January 13th, 2024 as Korean American Day in the city of Philadelphia.
Councilman Jim Harity just walked in. Welcome. Okay. 2013년 12월 7일 Okay, I'm going to call you a little later. 2023년 12월 7일 짐 헤러리 필라델피아 광역시의원이 미주 한인의 날 결의안을 시의회에 상정하여 오늘 우리가 이렇게 1월 13일도 변함없이 제11회 미주 한인의 날로 기념하게 되었습니다.
Today, on January 13th, 2024, we celebrate 121 years of our proud heritage and our long and prosperous journey in the United States.
오늘 2024년 1월 13일 우리 모두는 121년의 자랑스러운 미주 한인 이민 역사를 기념하고 더 발전된 미주 한인 사회를 기대하며 이 자리에 모두 힘차게 함께하고 있습니다. 우리 한번 박수 치시죠. Okay, at this time, I want to introduce our Korean American Day Planning Committee member. Because everybody asking, who is planning committee member? We don't see them. So I'm going to recognize, okay, you see can you come up, all the planning committee members? If you see your face here, you should come up here. Don't be shy. 정우, okay, everybody's lined up over here. Yeah, just come up, and then it's gonna take only 1 minute. Okay. Everybody go. Okay. Can you go further? Maybe stay right here. She's important because she's done a lot of work. Okay. Everybody is just treasure of our community. Actually, these people are working for David O behind last 10 years, supporting this Korean American Day program. So I want you to meet who is working behind David O. But since this year, David O is not there anymore, so we try to stand up ourselves. I'm going to introduce Ken Yang. Okay. And then David O as an advisor. He's joining us as an advisor. Mike Choi. Okay, he's been working really hard. Thank you so much. Christina Ha, she's really good. She designed all those things, all the graphic. Okay. And then Jung-woo, she's vice chair. So she's working with me very closely. We just talk every day. Okay. And then Tina, our treasurer, she decorates all the flowers, and then she does a lot of things for us. Thank you, Tina. And Lois is our advisor as well. Okay, thank you, Lois. And then 경혜, 이경혜 선생님, she's actually chairwoman for Korean Association. So she's joining us, and then we're gonna work really hard. So I hope everybody enjoy. Okay, thank you so much. 감사합니다. And then actually a couple of them, they're not here. And then they are Solomon Kim and Susan No, and then Kyung Seo. They work really hard, but they couldn't make it today. So please remember them, give them a cheers. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you again, Judy, and the committee members. Really appreciate your hard work. Next, we welcome Consul and Principal Officer Dae-Sup Chung from the Consulate of the Republic of Korea in Philadelphia. The Consulate of the Republic of Korea in Philadelphia is one of the host organizations for this year's Korean American Day. Consul Chung will read remarks from President Yoon of the Republic of Korea. 다음 순서로는 정대섭 필라델피아 출장소장님께서 윤석열 대통령님의 미주 한인의 날 기념사를 대독해 주시겠습니다. 필라델피아 출장소는 올해 미주 한인의 날 행사를 공동 주관하고 있습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
윤석열 대통령님께서 미주 한인의 날을 맞이해가지고 미국 기업 전체 한인 사회에 축사를 보내주셨습니다. 먼저 한글로 축사를 대독하고 간단하게 영어로 번역해드리겠습니다. Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, he sends his commemorative remarks on the Korean American Day. I will read it in Korean first, and then I will briefly summarize it in English later. 2024년 미주 한인의 날을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 121년의 역사를 품고 있는 미국 한인 사회는 이제 260만 명에 달하는 세계 최대 규모의 동포 사회로 발전하며 미국 사회의 핵심 구성원으로 자리 잡았습니다. 성실함과 끈기로 한민족의 우수성을 발휘하며 미국 사회 발전과 한미관계 정진에 기여해 오신 동포 여러분께 감사를 드립니다. 한미동맹 70주년을 맞은 지난해는 양국 관계가 새롭게 도약하는 한 해였습니다. 작년 4월 국빈 방미를 통해 북한 핵에 대응하여 한미 양국의 확장 억제를 확고히 하는 워싱턴 선언을 발표했고, 더 나아가 글로벌 포괄 전략 동맹의 비전을 구체화하였습니다. 또한 8월 캠프 데이비드에서 한미일 3국 협력 체계를 출범시키며 세 나라가 공동의 리더십을 발휘하여 인도 태평양 지역의 평화와 번영을 함께 이끌어 나가기로 하였습니다. 이러한 성과들을 바탕으로 한미 양국은 2024년에도 행동하는 동맹 Alliance in Action으로서 한미 동맹을 더욱 발전시켜 나갈 것입니다. 한미 동맹 발전의 역사는 곧 미주 한인 동포의 발전 역사입니다. 지난 70년간 여러분께서 두 나라 사이에 단단한 연결고리가 되어 주셨던 것처럼 앞으로도 변함없이 한미 동맹 발전과 공동 번영을 위해 힘을 보태 주시기 바랍니다. 2024년 갑진년 새해 복 많이 받으시길 바라며 동포 여러분의 가정에 건강과 행복이 가득하시길 기원합니다. Now, I will let me briefly summarize it in English. First, he expressed his sincere congratulations on the 2024 Korean American Day, and he said the 121-year-old Korean American community in the United States is now the largest Korean community in the world, numbering 2.6 million people, and has become a core member of American society. He also expressed his gratitude to the Korean Americans who have demonstrated his excellence of Korean people with integrity and perseverance, and have contributed to the development of American society and the enhancement of Korea-US relations. He said the Korea-US alliance took another leap forward last year, which marked the 70th anniversary. He emphasized that during his state visit to the United States in April last year, he and President Biden jointly issued the Washington Declaration to solidify the extended deterrence of two countries against North Korea's nuclear program. He also explained the trilateral cooperation framework between Korea, US, Japan was launched at Camp David last August, and the three countries agreed to work together for peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region through shared leadership. He said, based on these achievements, the two countries will further develop the Korea-US alliance as an alliance in action this year. Lastly, he asked Korean Americans to continue to developing the Korea-US alliance and shared prosperity. I finished. Summarize. Thank you.
감사합니다. Thank you, Councilor Chung. And now, we would like to invite Philadelphia Councilman Jim Harity for a remark. We're thankful that Councilman Jim Harity introduced the City Council resolution proclaiming January 13th, 2024 as a Korean American Day in the city of Philadelphia. 다음은 필라델피아 광역시의원 짐 헤러티의 축사가 있겠습니다. 짐 헤러티 시의원께서는 미주 한인의 날을 결의안을 시의회에 상정하여 오늘 1월 13일도 변함없이 11월 미주 한인의 날로 기념하게 되었습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하세요. Listen, I want to first start off by let's give David O another round of applause. Even though David's a Republican, I don't hold it against him. Me and David go back a long ways. David can attest that at one point I spent more time in the Korean community than I actually did in my own community. One of my best friends, Don Yoon, who decided to go back to Korea, he was my best friend and we hung out. So I've been to most of the Korean clubs. I've been to the restaurants all over the city of Philadelphia for many, many years. So when I was asked to take over for David, I was honored because I know what you give to the city of Philadelphia. I know what your culture has given to us. And for me, you know, that's what it's about. America is the melting pot of the world. And we were built by immigrants. You know, none of us except the Native American Indians actually came from here. Me, myself, my family immigrated from Ireland during the potato famine. which, anybody that knows history knows there wasn't actually a potato famine. There was plenty of potatoes. The English just wouldn't let us eat them. But, when they came to me and asked me to be the sponsor of the resolution, I absolutely jumped right on it because I know how important it is to promote everyone in the city of Philadelphia. We are one big family here in Philadelphia. We need to work together to make this city a better place. And until we decide to let all those petty differences go to the side and concentrate on what we all have in common, and it's a lot. We all just want to have a nice life where we can raise our children, send them to a school where they can actually learn. You know what I'm saying? Learn not only about the American way, but also about their own culture, because that's what it's about. Because if we forget, we're then deemed to repeat ourselves. So the mistakes we made in the past, we'll make them again. Unless we all work together to make sure that everybody knows we are all one people here in Philadelphia. As our new mayor, Sherelle Parker, says, one Philadelphia, a city united with equal opportunities for everyone. That's what the city of Philadelphia is about. That's what America is about. And I am so proud of the Korean community in Philadelphia. As I said, David knows, they took me in. I literally did spend more time with Korean Americans than I actually did with Irish Americans. Because they treated me with respect, no matter what my nationality was. They didn't care. They took me as what I was. And that's a nice person who's just trying to do the right thing here at City Council. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, and we're going to make this a better city for everyone. So I thank you. Please never forget your culture. I loved it yesterday when I seen the children standing there singing in their authentic, traditional clothing. For me, that's what this is about. That's how we're going to make this a better place, by showing people, even though we have differences, a lot of our stuff is just the same. We all just want to be safe. We all just want to be able to raise our family. And we all just want to be left alone to do what we do, not to be told what we can do. So I thank you for your commitment to the city of Philadelphia. And I would be remiss, I'm sorry I was late too. I hate being late for events. But we had at Democratic City Committee, the Democratic Party, I'm actually pulled double duty, so I'm the executive director for the party, and the African American Ward Leaders of Color met today for their endorsements, so I had to be there. I left out early so that I could run to be with my friends. So I thank you, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you, and please use my office as your vehicle. I am here to help you. My staff is very knowledgeable, and they can help with every city issue that you may have. I know a lot of you have businesses. We're working on a lot of different things for small businesses to get them back on the business corridors. So look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you again, Councilman Jim Harity, and for your commitment and passion to continue our tradition. Now up next, please help me welcome James Kim, the President of Korean American Association of Greater Philadelphia, who will provide his remark for this occasion. 다음은 오늘 행사의 공동주관 단체 중 하나인 대필라델피아 한인회 제임스 김 회장님께서 나오셔서 축사를 해주시겠습니다.
안녕하세요. I have a little bit of a dilemma this morning, whether I should speak English or Korean in Korean American Day. So I decided to choose to go with the Korean. 일단은 그 데이비도 전 시의원께서 11년 동안 이제 고생을 많이 하셨고요. 당연하게 이제 그 주위에 이제 그 위원들이 상당한 많이 일을 해가지고 지금까지 끌고 왔었어요. 그러다가 이번에 이제 그 전 시의원이신 데이비도께서 이제 그만두시면서 일단은 저희가 한인회가 할 것이냐, 서재필이 할 것이냐, 재단이 할 것이냐, 그러다가 저희가 같이 하는 걸로 하기로 했습니다. 그리고 이제 출장사무소, 통영사관 출장사무소가 같이 하기로 했고요. 이유는 하나입니다. 일단은 한인의 중심으로도 당연하게 해야 되겠지만은 많은 그 단체들이 같이 주관을 하고 그것이 바로 한인의 날의 뜻이라고 생각합니다. 그렇기 때문에 올해는 또 이렇게 세 단체가 주관을 할 수도 있겠지만은 더 많은 참가할 수 있는 또 다른 작은 단체들 분들도 모이셔서 하나가 되는 게 오히려 진짜 이 필라델피아, 이 미주에서 살면서 하나의 목소리를 내는 게 되게 중요하다고 생각합니다. 그것이 바로 젊은 애들한테도 중요한 거고요. 자라나는 젊은이들이 진짜 코리안 아메리칸으로서 살아가는데 문제가 없는 그런 사회를 만드는 게 또 저희들이 임무라고 생각합니다. 여기 지금 노인회도 있으시고, 그다음에 교회도 있으시고, 한글학교도 있으시고, 저 많은 재단들이 여기 다 있으신데 내년부터는 더 조직적으로 같은 한인 단체들이 뭉쳐가지고 진짜 하나가 돼서 더 많은 인원을 가지고 진짜 한인의 잔치가 열리기를 바라겠습니다. 오늘 참가해 주셔서 감사드리고요. 오늘 감사합니다.
Thank you, President Kim. And up next is George Cho, President and CEO of Philip Jason Memorial Foundation. Korean American Association of Greater Philadelphia and Philip Jason Memorial Foundation are co-hosting this event with the Consulate Office this year. 다음은 서재필 기념재단의 최정수 회장님의 축사 순서인데요. 올해는 대필라델피아 한인회, 서재필 기념재단, 그리고 필라델피아 출장소가 2024년 미주 한인날 행사를 공동 주관하게 되었습니다.
네, 안녕하십니까. Good morning. 우리 한인 회장님께서 한국말로 했으니까 저는 영어로 하겠습니다. Once again, thank you for Jason Drum Team. We're doing what we are doing today because of you guys, our future generations. And I also want to thank, I know everybody is thanking David O for the last 10 years, but Louis Kang and Tom Gang, why don't you stand? You know, behind Dave, these guys been working so hard last 10 years. And so I do want to express my appreciation. And as Judy Yu was talking about, the planning committee, when you look at them, they are 1.5 and second generation working together. And this is how it should be in the future. And we need to have more younger leadership coming out and preparing these kind of events so that our focus will be future generations. And that's how we are hoping to do. And thank you for Councilman Harity. This is the first time I've met, and thank you for the resolutions, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure there are a lot of VIP. We already talked about David O's and all, and but Patty Kim, that I do appreciate her coming over from Harrisburg, and let me tell you, she will be the next state senator. For our organization, obviously, we are so proud to be co-hosts of this event because not only we're commemorating first group of immigrant to Hawaii in 1903, and also the fact that Dr. Philip Jason is the first Korean American in 1890, which is 13 years even before that. So for our organization, we are proud to host this event, and will continue to be a key part. And rather than giving a speech, and let me share with you one testimony from one student. Recently, we hosted Wissahickon High School student. It's not just Korean American, it's a Caucasian African American student. Came to Philip Jason Memorial House, and one student gave a testimony, and this is the reason why we celebrate this Korean American history. And what she said, I'm getting old, so I have to read, even though it's just short. what she says is this: after looking at the Dr. Jason's history, Korean American history, what she said is, this is so new feeling and powerful, and this should be normal in our school. And this is how white students feel every day with all the history they're learning. And this was big revelation for her. And this is why we need to have our school teaching Asian American history. And let me tell you that the Representative Patty Kim, let's give her a hand because she's the first one to introduce Asian American history curriculum in our legislature. So let's. So again, we're celebrating these Korean American days and the Korean American, Asian American history in the future. We will be forefront doing that, and we're doing it because we want to provide the identity for our future generations, and so we are proud to be part of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Cho. Up next, her name's actually been mentioned a couple times already. I would like to welcome Patty Kim, PA State Representative of the 103rd District. 머리 쏘셨습니다. 펜실베니아주 하원이신 패티 킴 의원님이 축사에 순서가 있겠습니다. 의원님은 펜실베니아주 103번 디스트릭트 지역구이십니다. 환영합니다.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. Happy Korean American Day. I want to thank the Planning Committee, including Judy Yu and George Cho, for putting this together. It is so important to pause and remember where we came from. So I was invited to go to Seoul, Korea last fall, thanks to the General Consulate, Kay Kim. And it was called the Global Korean Politicians Forum. And I was so excited because I had never been to Korea. I'm a half century old and I've never been to Korea. I have Korean parents, they speak Korean, we use chopsticks, I love Korean food, but I've never been there. And growing up, and I don't know if the younger folks can relate to this, but when I was growing up, I was made fun of for being who I am. And I would take it because, I don't know about Korea. I don't have that much pride. And so I took the hits. And then I went to Korea, and they took us to the National History Museum in Seoul, Korea. And I took my time, and I read through the whole history of Korea. And I saw all the things that my parents, your parents went through, all the hardships. We always hear Koreans are strong people, we're resilient. I got to see it in pictures. And there's this one small bit of history that really isn't that important, but it talked about after the Korean War, when Korea was pretty much in ashes, the Korean ladies, in South Korea, there weren't a lot of natural resources. We couldn't export ore and steel and whatnot. The women grew their hair long, cut it, and sent it to other countries for wigs. To me, the Korean people being selfless and working in unity to make their country stronger. It wouldn't work if a couple of women did it. All the women had to come together with the same plan, do that sacrifice for their country. We have to think the same way. Be a little bit selfless. See the big picture and work towards it. Councilman Harity just said that. We have to come together and stop thinking about ourselves too much. So leaving Korea, I'm a little bit prouder of being Korean American. And I want to continue sharing that pride and standing a little bit taller, that I know who I am and I know where I'm from, and my people are amazing people. They are the strongest people I've ever experienced and seeing up front, and then of course having more respect for my parents. Lastly, the House of Representatives Out-of-State Committee in December, we passed a House Resolution number 274 to commemorate Korean American Day. And in the spring, we will vote on it, and it will pass unanimously, recognizing Korean American Day. So everyone, family, happy Korean American Day, and stand strong.
Thank you so much for all the work and the commitment you share with us. Really appreciate everything. Up next, please help me welcome Jimmy Chung, newly elected supervisor of Lower Gwinnett Township, who will give his remarks. 다음은 올 2024년 1월부터 임기가 시작된 지미 정 Lower Gwinnett Township 슈퍼바이저의 축사 순서로 오늘 축사의 순서를 마치겠습니다. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, unfortunately, like some of the couple other speakers, I don't have the dilemma of choosing English or Korean. As you know, I am an English speaker, but hopefully that will change in the near future. But I'm so happy and so proud to be up here on Korean American Day. It's just a great representation between the two great countries, two great nations, America and Korea, and the combination of America's innovation, forward thinking, and entrepreneurship, combined with Korea's tradition, focus on family, and resilience, really combines to make great things. And that's what this relationship has been doing since 1903. And that's really clearly seen with some of the great leaders here that fill this room, and there's just so many to name, so I'll keep them nameless, but everyone knows the great contributions. So I'm just very proud to be a part of this. I'd like to really thank the Planning Committee, Judy Yu, Jung, and really everyone. This is a great day, and this is to just our future to continue and prosper for our children and our grandchildren. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your remarks. And now, it is my honor to introduce former Councilman David O, who will give the keynote address. He is the first Asian American elected official in Philadelphia, and he was re-elected in 2015 and 2019. He served 3 terms until he resigned to run for the mayor last year. As we mentioned before, David O and his staff started commemorating Korean American Day in Philadelphia 11 years ago and has hosted this event for 10 years from 2014 to 2023. 오늘 기조 강연자를 소개합니다. 필라델피아 전 3선 광역시 의원이시자 2023년 필라델피아 시장 출마하셨던 데이비드 오 전 필라델피아 광역시 의원님 소개합니다. 오 의원님께서는 지난 2014년부터 2023년까지 10년간 필라델피아에서 미주 한인의 날을 결의안을 상정하시며 미주 한인의 날 준비위원님과 함께 기념 행사를 성공적으로 발전시키며 개최하셨습니다. 오늘 강연으로 다들 많은 것을 배운 시간은 되기를 바랍니다. Please help me welcome former Councilman David O.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I am challenged because I'm actually giving a history lesson today, and I only have 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to figure out where I can stand that you can see the slides better. I think can everybody see the board maybe? If not, I will do the best I can. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so I need your help. 30 minutes, I've been told, not longer than 30 minutes. I'm gonna ask Tom back there, shout out 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that's the way I'll stay on track. There's, of course, much more to say about it, so this is a very abbreviated, but I do want to say this. Korean American history, let's go to the next slide. Let's take a quick look at this timeline. This is the timeline we're going to work with. It is from 1848 up until like 1992 and afterwards. I think I'm going to try to come down here. The reason is because you cannot deal with Korean American history absent Asian American history. If you arrived in America in 1972, you don't know why you were treated this way, why people hated you or loved you, what they thought about you, because you didn't know what happened. Somebody who looked like you did something, they thought you're the same people, or they went through something in 1965, you know nothing about it. Or maybe you were in war and they know nothing about it. But when you arrived here, somebody determined who you are and how they should treat you, and you don't know why. So, I'm going to start here in 1848, because that is the gold rush. That is when the Chinese came over to the United States to look for gold. Now, Asians were here before the gold rush. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide, here we are. 1587, 1763. In this early period, the first Asians to come to the United States were Filipinos. They were sailors. They probably served during the Revolutionary War because they were sailors. Many people don't know that among the first Marines, they were 65. It is incorrectly told that that is a result of the Civil Rights Act of 64. That's absolutely untrue. Maybe somebody's wishes it was true, it's just not true. There was the Immigration Act of 53. It was about the Cold War. And 65, they came out with the Immigration Act to bring third world countries and other folks to the United States. President Johnson was hoping more Europeans would come, but Asians came over. Next slide. The third wave of immigration, the door was open because many people, Koreans in particular, they were looking for better economic opportunity. By the way, Korea supported the U.S. in Vietnam. About 320,000 Korean military served in Vietnam in support of the U.S. In Vietnam, and many Korean American Vietnam veterans did come to the United States. Next slide. If you look at this, you will see this. Like from the very beginning of the time, look at the Chinese, right, 48. How many Korean Americans are in this country? Like nobody. The Immigration Act of 65, you see that at 61, 70, and then in the 80s to the 90s, there's a huge increase of immigrants from Korea. But they were not here in 65 and 60 and 50. So there's a lot of things they never knew about or experienced. They had their own problems. But what happens after the 1990s, the immigration arrival in the U.S. declines. Koreans are going someplace else. They're not coming to the United States. Let's go to the next slide. And because Korea, by the way, is also becoming a prosperous, wealthy country. Next event. I throw this as my cousin, but I just want to say, as you could see, in 58, there were not many Koreans, let alone Asians, living in this country. But In Ho-Oh was murdered in Philadelphia. It was a big news event in the United States of America. The family expressed forgiveness, and it was very surprising to people that Koreans would embody a Christian spirit. They did not expect that from these people. Let's go to the next slide. Vincent Chin is not Korean, right? But why is he here? Because it very much affects Koreans. And again, it's important to know who affects you, whether the people are from Europe or Africa or Latino. Vincent Chin is a very typical case where this guy, Vincent Chin, he is a Chinese American in Detroit. And somebody said, you Japanese are putting us out of business. You know, these are auto workers. And so they chased him into the parking lot. He ran away. They got their baseball bats. They chased him down the street, and they beat him to death in front of people. And there was a $3,000 fine. The charges were manslaughter, and they were given like a very minimal punishment. The family went to the ACLU and all those legal groups who were not interested in this case. Not interested, because they did not really care for Chinese people. I'm just going to put it that way in summary. But fortunately, they did find a Chinese attorney, Chinese American, who took up the case. Eventually, it was picked up by the U.S. Department of Justice, and it was brought kind of as more of like a denial of civil rights, human, and like that. But 1882 to 1982, the Exclusion Act to Vincent Chin, it was just the justice system discriminates against who you are, though the same thing happened to you. The underlying question is, why do people hate the Chinese? In other words, why does all these good lawyers doing all these good things do not want to serve him and his family and his people? And that is based in the history I'm just telling you. People blaming Asians, which started around 1968. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm going to interrupt. During the World War II, Japanese American soldiers were the most decorated unit of the military for their size and lengths of service. They even have a national holiday called Go for Broke Day, November 5th. I don't know, nobody celebrates it, but the most decorated military unit, Japanese Americans. And when they came back, because they had all been in internment camps, they began to undo all the discriminatory legislation against Japanese. Not Chinese, not Koreans, just Japanese. All these laws were about taking Japanese property, farms, businesses. So they came back and they had political power because they were war heroes. And so they got elected to political positions. They regained their economy. They strengthened themselves, and people said they're the model minority. That's where that came from. The Japanese were put in prison camps, basically, served the country, died at high rates of numbers, came back, got their community back, became politically powerful, become integral to the United States. They are, look at this example of a model minority. In 68, a group of students said they are Uncle Tom. Those Japanese who were interned, joined the military, got killed in Germany, all that stuff, they are Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom means they are like, clowns. I'm being told this time is running up. Okay. So the blaming of Asians began in 68, that you are not earning on your merit, but you are the beneficiary of your white skin and white privilege. That started in 68. That's called the model minority myth. And 92 is the LA riots. What happened is the Koreans came into abandoned areas, made their stores, but there was a great animosity, and as a result, the LA riots occur when the police barricade the roads of the rioting. There's an African-American issue because of the beating of King, and the decision of the court, the jury, to free all the officers, but they were diverted to Koreatown. Had nothing to do with Koreans. They were diverted and blocked into Koreatown, and that was 1992. Next slide, because I think we're just about done. Korea's economic success had a great impact on Koreans in America, and it also had a lot to do with why Koreans weren't coming to America. These corporations So as Korean Americans, you are impacted by what happens in Korea, also given opportunities. Next slide. The mayor of New York said there are too many Asians in our good schools. Harvard discriminates against Asians. Next slide. Bamboo ceiling is, while Asians do well in school, after school, they don't do so well. Let's go out to the next slide. Bulletproof glass, discriminatory laws in Philadelphia. Let's go to the next slide. Asian hate, right? COVID-19, Kung flu. Many people think that's new, like Asian hate started during the pandemic. As I'm showing you, this is very minor. Go back to China, very minor compared to being burned and torched and hung and shot. Next slide. Korean American celebrities. Maybe you know them, right? Next slide. Korean American celebrities again. Heinz Ward, Johnny Kim. Next slide. Some of our elected officials. Next slide. And the popularity of Korean music and film also impacts how people perceive you here in America. Next slide. So the takeaways are, you should know who you are, how people see you, and if you have a better sense of exactly like your own history and how it's related to other people's history, you will be more in a position to be independent, to have able to express your own views without being incorrectly informed by others who misstate your history. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman David O. I hope you guys all learned a great lesson, and I think you're one of the few people that can make history pretty interesting, so thank you so much. And as Councilman Jim Harity said, let us not forget the history that he taught us so that we can continue to prosper all together as Korean Americans. All right, at this time, I would like to call Judy Yu again up to the stage to recognize three very important people. They have been mentioned before, but I won't spoil it again. But these are the people making the Korean American Day celebration possible in Philadelphia. 이 차례로 다시 무대 위로 이주향 준비위원장님을 모시고 미주 한인의 날 공로상 시상의 순서를 갖겠습니다.
우리 그 데이비드 의원님하고 우리 로이스 강하고 타마스한테 우리가 가만히 있을 수가 없어서 너무 10년 동안 너무 고마워서 감사장을 드리기로 했어요. 그런데 이제 제가 다 할 수는 없고 우리 이번에 공동 주관하신 우리 정대섭 소장님, 그리고 우리 최정수 회장님, 그리고 우리 제임스 킴 회장님도 up on the stage. I want to call out three leaders. 올라오세요. 노가 아니라 올라오세요. But I'm gonna read what's on the flag, and then I'm gonna ask Councilor Jung to present to 우리 Councilman David O, and then James Kim to Lois Kang, and then Georgie to Thomas Kang. Is Thomas here? Oh, okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Appreciation present to David O. In honor of your dedication and years of contribution of Korean American Day in Philadelphia. January 13, 2024, Korean American Day Planning Committee, Korean American Association of Greater Philadelphia, Philip Jason Memorial Foundation, Consulate of the Republic of Korea in Philadelphia. So, Councilor Chung, can you present to Councilman O? And then we're gonna take a photo all together later on. Okay. All right. Next, it's Lois. It's same. It's all same. Lois. Okay, thank you so much. James Kim, he's gonna present to Lois. Okay, Thomas Kang. Thank you, Tina. Up on the stage. Thomas, okay. Okay, Thomas Kang from George Choi. Thank you so much. So we all gonna take a picture together. 우리 사진 하나 찍어주세요. You know what? I'm gonna ask actually Jim Hattery and then Patty Kim and Jimmy Chung up on the stage. We're gonna take a picture together. Why not, right? They are part of our big celebration. Oh, okay. Do you want to say something for 15 seconds? The recipient. Okay. How about Thomas? Thomas and Royce, we want you to speak.
Thank you, everyone. This is very special. I am delighted to accept this for the hard work that everyone has done regarding Korean American Day. I want to especially thank a mentor of mine, my former boss. I don't know if I'm young enough or old enough to call him big brother or uncle, but I do owe.
I'm called little brother.
But I do owe this man a lot, and continuing to support him in his future and all that he does. And thank you all for supporting Korean American Day. Thank you.
So I also would like to thank everyone who's in this room. I have worked with you very closely for the past 10 years, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. We had a vision to use Korean American Day to provide programming for youth in strengthening identity, and we also wanted to offer friendship. We wanted to reach out to other communities, and we wanted to come together in a very meaningful way. And I'm very proud of the work that we have done together. And so just thank you, and a special thank you to Councilman Oh, who kind of led this, and to the committee members and everyone who's in this room that have supported our work for the past 10 years, 11 years. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. We heard a lot from people, but now we have an activity so that you guys can talk amongst yourselves. Please direct your attention to the program page 18. There should be a blank page that says, I am proud to be Korean American, or I am proud to be friends with Korean American. There's a blank page available for you. We would like you to take a moment, think about what makes you proud, and write it down or draw it. Really let your creativity flow. There should be pens at each table, and the photographers will be coming around to take pictures of you guys. Thank you. 모두 프로그램 책자 18페이지를 열어보시면은 나는 미주 한인이라는 것이 아니면 나는 미주 한인과 친구라는 것이 자랑스럽다고 적혀 있을 거예요. 앞에 있는 펜과 컬러펜으로 이 주제를 그림 그리거나 적어주시고 참여해 보시기 부탁드리겠습니다. 전문 사진가께서 테이블마다 방문하여 사진 찍을 때 그림과 함께 이쁜 사진 찍어주시기 부탁드리겠습니다.
Fighting!